cybersecurity refers to the practice of protecting computer systems, networks, and data from malicious digital attack, aiming to safeguard sensitive information from unauthorized access, disruption, or damage by hackers, often through measures like strong password, firewalls, encryption, and vigilant monitoring against threats like phishing scams, malware, and ransomware. So, today I will be discussing the concept of internet security. So, internet security, cyber security, like in the cyber security, there are so many different types of security measures, components, you can say. And today we are going to talk about the internet security. That is really very important because most of the threats come through the internet only. So let's talk about that. What is the exact meaning or understanding of internet security? Like internet security protects your device, data, and online activities from cyber threats, you can say. So it includes measures like antivirus softwares, firewall, and encryption. So simply, if we talk about that, how does the internet security protect you? So it protects against like crimes, and it protects against the malware, against the phishing, against the identity theft. So internet security usually involves the protection of the user's data from the unauthorized access and damage when connected to the internet. Most of the times, implementing a proper browser configuration would help in protecting the personal information, preventing malware infection, and also preventing damages caused due to the cyber attacks. Now, there are multiple terms which are very necessary to be understood, like you can say for the cyber security also and for general knowledge also. So, if we talk about cookie is very common and buzz term which everybody must have already heard about. But what is the exact meaning? What is session? What is cookie? So, where does it store and what is the purpose? Why we are studying about it in the cyber security? So cookie can be a security vulnerability because they can be used to steal information or infect devices with malware. If we talk about how cookies are used, so websites use cookies to recognize your computer, track your browsing, and remember your logins even. Cookies can be used to improve the website's usability and analyze how it's being used. And cookie can be used to remember your preferences also, like what's in your shopping cart, and cookies can be used to show your personalized ads even. So a cookie is basically the information which is provided by a web browser to the web client and then sent back unchanged by the browser each time it accesses the server. So like cookie based attacks are there, like malicious attacks that can use cookies to steal personal information or infect device with malware, and this is called cookie based attack. So, like there are different types of cookie, even persistent cookies are there, advertising cookies are there. So, like cookie are very dangerous anyhow. Then there is the concept of session also. Okay. So, like when we talk about cookie, when a website revisits the browser, sends this information back as to recognize the user. And when we talk about the session, so in cybersecurity, a session is a series of interactions between the user and the website or the applications, you can say, whichever application. So whatever number of pages you are visiting, so that is actually counted in your session until you log out. Until you log out, once you have logged in, until you log out, that is a session. A session is identified by a unique session token even when you can say which is randomly generated string actually. There are codes during the creation of the website through which the session tokens are generated. And if we talk about that how the session work, so a session begins with a user authentication, and it requests a page from the server, and the server responds with information, and the user browser send back the packets of information. So the session ends when the user terminates the session or close the browser. And like session security prevents unauthorized users from accessing a user's account and information itself. So cookie and session are the two different concepts, you can say. And cookie is invisible to the user actually, and is also intended for improving the internet browsing experience. As I told you, that it helps in the personalized advertisement, and it stores our card details, our login details, and all. Now let's talk about the security issues with instant messaging. So we are using the instant messaging apps. So many different kind of apps are there through which we can just send the message directly to the person, and we know that okay, the person is able to see our messages received and all. So simply social engineering attack is the one, like security issues I am talking about. So if I talk about the social engineering attack, so we will be talking about this in very detail afterwards. But yes, for a brief intro, you can say social engineering is basically the psychological attack that tricks people into giving away sensitive information or performing unsafe, you can say, actions online. Okay, so it's a common and effective way for cyber attackers to gain access to sensitive information. And the social engineering attack works in such a way that they like attacker research, gain trust, and exploit. Phishing is an example of social engineering, and quid pro quo scams are also, like I will be discussing about them in detail further. Like I'm just telling you the names, that watering hole attack is there. That is also the social engineering attack. Then spamming comes. So spamming is another issue which is like with the instant messaging, you can say. So spamming is a cybersecurity threat that involves sending unwanted messages to many people. Spam can be sent through email, social media, and text messages or phone calls even. So simply, it is also done through phishing. Like phishing is basically a common type of cyber attack when the criminal sends an email that appears to come from legitimate user, but it is actually not the legitimate user. And it can be like this spamming can be done through malwares also. So cyber like attackers, actually you can say the uh, attackers basically send the malwares. These are like simply malicious softwares such as virus, trojan, ransomware, and that can damage the device actually. So the next, like as the social engineering comes into the picture, so we are going to discuss it in detail. So social engineering is the art of manipulating people, as I said, to like gain the confidential information, you can say, to gain their trust, so they can give us the confidential information. And criminals use social engineering tactics because it is usually easier to exploit the user's natural inclination to trust. Like then it's too very easy to hack your softwares or system. People can get the information and they can guess your passwords and all even. Now let's talk about the most common examples of social engineering. As I said, I will be discussing the different social engineering examples in detail. So let's talk about, these are examples, or you can say these are the types of social engineering attacks. So first of all, which comes into the picture, that is definitely phishing. And phishing is simply a cyber crime attack, or you can say cyber attack, that tricks people into sharing sensitive information such as password, card number. It's a type of social engineering, and simply like it is a tactic which includes the depictive email, websites, and text messages to steal the information. Then after the phishing, like the next which comes into the picture, that is the spear phishing. Now with the name you can understand basically. But yes, spear phishing is like a cyber attack that targets specific people or organization even to trick them into sharing sensitive information or downloading malware. And it is also a social engineering attack that uses personalized scams actually. So simply the spear phishing is through emails most of the time. Email is used to carry out the targeted attack against individual or the businesses, the organization. That's why it is a spear phishing. Then the next one which comes into the picture, that is the baiting. Do you know what is baiting? Do you have any idea? Have you heard about this term before? Baiting. And it is actually a social engineering attack. So in cybersecurity, baiting refers to the type of social engineering attack where a malicious attacker lures our victims into compromising their security by offering a seemingly attractive reward or prize. So simply, you can say a piece of information like a free download, discount, or exclusive access in exchange for sensitive data, or by tricking them into installing the malware on their system. Essentially used. using a bait, you can say, to tempt the victim into taking an action that harm them. Okay, so baiting is simply an online and physical social engineering attack that promises the victim a reward. That okay, spin this, and that you will be getting the reward. Like nine mobile phone, nine iPhone, you have won. But yes, to gain those iPhone, you definitely have to give all your details. Then only they will be delivering it free of cost. No, but actually, no one is going to deliver that free of cost. These kind of like ads and the spins are actually fake. They can be baiting actually. They can be social engineering attack. Then the malware, which I have been talking about since starting. So malware is nothing but a type of malicious software that can harm a computer, network, or server. So it can steal your data, disrupt services, or damage system. And major types of cyber security threats, or you can say malwares, major type of malicious softwares could be viruses, worms, Trojan horse, and ransomware, spyware, keyloggers are there. So simply they steal, delete, or encrypt your data and alter or hijack core computing functioning is itself. So your computer will be not functioning properly, and you won't be able to do any particular operation or any particular act on your computer. So simply victims are tricked into believing that the malware is installed on their computer, but actually it's not. They are tricked, and then like they have to pay that okay, if you will be paying, so I will be removing the malware. Oh, that is actually a type of ransomware when like it is a example. So as you can see, it's written example. So this is the example of malware, and this example which is written, that is actually the you can say example of ransomware, where you have to pay to get your data back, to get your information back. But most of the time, the person do not get the information after paying also. Then you must have heard about pretexting, or simply like pretexting is there, which is actually creating a fake scenario. It is a social engineering attack where a cyber criminal trick a victim into giving away sensitive information. So because these all are social engineering attacks, so definitely they will be asking for the personal information only, definitely, because that is the meaning of social engineering, to manipulate someone in different ways. Okay, so these are the different ways you can say. So, like pretexting is a attack where the cyber criminal tricks a victim into giving up sensitive information, and the attacker creates a fake scenario or pretext. So, the fake scenario is basically known as pretext to gain the victim's trust and manipulate them into providing information. So, simply a user's false identity to trick the victim into giving up information. Maybe someone pretend to be your friend, relative, or someone else whom you can just give your information, maybe some authority, maybe the bank person, maybe the credit card, debit card kind of scenarios, maybe some policies. Then the quid pro quo comes into the picture. So quid pro quo attack is a social engineering like technique where the cyber attacker offers a service or benefit in exchange information, like in exchange for the information or the access to the system. So the term quid pro quo is Latin term for something for something. Okay, quid pro quo means something for something. Relies on the exchange of information or service to convince the victim to act. Okay, the act will be giving the information, you can say. Then this is the next, which is tailgating, and I think you must not have heard about tailgating before. This term must be new to you. So tailgating is again the cybersecurity social engineering attack that involves gaining access to a restricted area. Okay, by following the authorized person or authority. That means it is a physical attack where physically a person is going to some organization or somewhere, and they are actually trying to gain the information. Someone is following you, maybe your friend, your cousin, and someone whom you know, who is actually someone whom you have trust on, and you take them to your office, or like simply your maybe the room where your information or credentials are kept, maybe in the office most of the time, in the businesses and organizations this kind of tailgating happen, that people come and they just see that okay, this person sits here, this person sits there, okay, this is the password. They just do the shoulder sniffing and just see that okay, this is the password, and then further they will be planning that how to hack the system, how to get the information, kind of. So it relies on human trust to give the criminal physical access to the secure building or area. Most of the time, it is not in the personal scenario. When we talk about the tailgating, it is mostly uh, towards the businesses, the organizations, or some big building where a person follows another trustworthy person. Like person A is employee, and person B is actually some relative or some acquaintance of A. So A knows B, so because A is also a reputed person in the company or known person in the company, so simply the guard and others are also not stopping the B person to come inside. Such kind of scenario can be in this case tailgating. Then the next which comes into the picture, that is the wishing. So phishing and wishing are two different things. And wishing or voice phishing, it is known as. When we talk about wishing, wishing is basically the voice phishing, and it is a cyber crime that involves tricking people into sharing sensitive information over the phone. So simply the scammers impersonate legitimate companies like banks, government, and tech support even. They just pretend to be bank or the government or the tech support team. And they use the social engineering to gain trust and persuade people to share the personal information. And they may threaten people also, or offer incentives also to get the information, to get them to comply whatever they need. So they may want to steal money, commit identity theft, or gain access to the trade secrets even. Like wishing is like urgent voicemails convincing victim that they need to act quickly to protect themselves from arrest or other things. So simply we should never share sensitive information over the phone calls unless you are sure that the call is legitimate. Okay, that is necessary to understand. And there is one more, like phishing is there, wishing is there, and there is one more term which is smishing, SMISHING. So it uses the text messages or messaging app instead of phone call in the smishing. In the wishing, the voice calls are there, voice mails are there, and phishing mostly with the email it is, and smishing is simply the text messages or messaging apps like Instagram or Messenger or something. Then I talked about the water holing in starting. So let's talk about what is water holing. And I'm sure that you have not heard about it before. So water holing attack is simply the cyber attack that infects a website that a target group frequently visit, and with like you can say malware. Okay. So with the malware, the website will be infected, and the goal is to infect the computers of users who visit the infected website. So the website, when the website entire website will be infected, so what will be happening, the people who are actually visiting to that particular website, they will be facing issue and their data will be stolen through one website which is having malicious software or malware virus there. So simply what will be happening, other users will be suffering, and all those people who are visiting to that particular website, they will be actually giving their data unknowingly. They will be actually in trouble unknowingly. So simply water holing is an advanced social engineering attack that infects both a website and its visitors with malware, that is the malicious softwares. Now let's talk about spamming. So as I told you, spamming is basically like use of messaging system to send and to send uh, uh sorry unsolicited mail, that is the messages will basically to large number of recipients. Okay, so simply here the large number of messages are sent when we talk about the concept of spamming, and it is very common. Spam mail folder is also present in the email, Gmail most of the time. So simply it involves sending unwanted messages to them, like to many people at a time. And spam can be sent through email, social messages, and text messages even. That's why someone like promotional messages when sent by normal WhatsApp or something, after some particular attempts by sending, if you send 10 20 people all together, some maybe some you can say promotional message or something. So simply they will ban your WhatsApp for block your WhatsApp for some days at least without warning. So spam can be sent through email, social media, and text messages or phone calls. Same comment you are making on every YouTube video, so that will be stopped. And like simply non-commercial pro selling also, commercial advertising also, prohibited purpose, some fraudulent activity also is there. So these kind of things will be monitored and considered to be spam. Now security measures for instant messaging. So simply I talked about instant messaging, that yes, through instant messaging a lot of scams are actually getting done and attacks are getting done. So what are the security measures for instant messaging? Do not reveal personal information. This is very much important to understand that we should never reveal our personal information on social media. I have talked about this earlier also, that simply you have to take care of this thing, that on what platform, with whom, and what you are talking. Maybe someone you met on the social media itself and you are talking to them since many days or months or year even, and you don't know those people in person, or maybe sometime you have met also. That does not make sure that the person who is in front of you is the correct person. Okay, maybe the scammer or some attacker kind of person, maybe some negative mentality kind of person is there who is going to do some social engineering afterwards. So do not reveal personal information. It's not necessary actually to reveal the personal information on the WhatsApp chats or mobile calls, phone calls, WhatsApp calls, Instagram, anywhere, on websites, on comments, like comments on YouTube. Actually, today the communities are formed there. Then do not accept links received from unknown sources. We should never install the softwares on, we should not open the links which are coming from the unknown sources. Someone is sharing that please watch, this is my blog. Maybe that blog is not blog, it is actually some malicious website. So simply nobody knows what is there. So simply we should not accept the links received from the unknown sources. Actually, there are so many cases which can be um, acting as example for crimes which are actually done through the unknown sources links. Even in the time, like when you visit some websites and all, and there they give some APK which are not present on the Google Play Store, on the Apple Store, or simply you are downloading them from the like some different website, some softwares and all. They are also dangerous. It's not secure. Even the mobile phone gives you the warning also that you should not install those softwares. Then make sure to block those users that send you unsolicited website links. So, unsolicited website links, if someone is sending you, that means you don't know, don't recognize something, and you don't find it well. So, simply you should block those unknown users even. Make sure you use string and complex passwords. So, simply we have to take care of this thing, that what passwords we are using. The passwords should be very secure, because as I told you earlier also, that the password should not be 1234, or maybe your date of birth, your family member date of birth, someone, your friend date of birth, anything, date of birth, or simply some particular nicknames kind of. These things should not be given. Most of the people do that only. They just create such kind of passwords, and these passwords are prone to compromise. So we have to take care that string and complex password we should make. I will be talking about some different websites also which are there to make you understand that how to create different passwords, different complex passwords which are actually very nice to use and not easy to remember. They will not easy to remember, but actually they will be very secure. So simply make sure to sign out of the instant messaging apps using yet. So simply now it comes that who sign out the Instagram, Facebook every time. People are logged in through the application, and they simply do not want to again and again put their details. Do you sign out once you use Instagram? Do you sign out once you use Instagram and then you again sign in when you get in? I don't think so. Anybody does it. Nobody does it actually. but it should be done because sometimes these things are very important. If you are really a person who wants to learn cybersecurity, so the guidelines should be followed, and you should be sure that you are not doing such things which are actually going to make you in the difficult situation. Okay, so next is simply always make sure to uncheck the remember password option. People are very like, okay, remember password, just check it fast. So at least I don't have to type the password again and again. Like, remember password is for the same purpose that we do not have to type the password again and again, and automatically it will be taking our details because we have already saved that by pressing the remember password, and then we log we are kept logged in, and that is also dangerous because we make the remember password. So we should never choose the remember password option, and we should always type the password by ourselves. Even we should change and update the password within 1 week. Not like simply the password should be not kept more than 1 week, you can say. They should be kept changing actually. Now let's talk about the risk with social networking sites. So, like, attackers might use the information available about the victim online for cyberbullying, identity theft, and the attackers might easily get information such as email IDs, contact numbers, etc. So these details should not be simply spamming, can be done through your email ID even. So you have to take care that your personal information is not revealed on the social media actually. They should be private. Now in today's world, nobody actually wants to keep those information private. But it should be. In context of cybersecurity, it should be. Now, if I talk about spam, so spam is what? Nothing but like simply the attacker might use the email based attack to steal the information, because spamming is simply sending multiple mails at a time, multiple messages at a time. So simply they would lure the victim's computer or system with spam mails. You can say the Gmail box actually, Gmail or any other mailing service you are using. The phishing mails are a trap, and most get victimized to it. Simply, such kind of mails are giving some advertisements, some offers. So people just see that okay, such like offer is running, wow, and you just click and you are just going to, like, you try to simply get those product and services whatever is getting advertised in those mails, and then actually those websites are not reliable actually, through which those particular products are visible on low cost or price product or services. Now let's talk about the checklist for the internet security. So what you have to take care when you are talking about internet security: set a firewall in order to monitor and control the information. We all have firewall in our windows, so we have to take care that our firewall should be on every time, not downloading some unknown resources, links, and websites or images because of which actually it asks to close the firewall. No, that is actually not safe for the computer system and our data. Update your web browser, operating system, and applications. We should definitely update the operating system, the web browser, and all other applications on very time. Whenever it asks, update it. It's necessary, because maybe the crack versions are created already for the older versions. So we have to take care of this thing, that we have to update the web browsers, operating system, and application time to time. And do not connect to public Wi-Fi to browse any important websites such as banking website. Most of the time it happens, people go to some public Wi-Fi place and they just fill their examination form, the government exam forms, or some other things they are doing. And what happened that actually their details are getting tracked by that Wi-Fi also. So simply that will be tracked, and that is very difficult to like if some issue occurs, so it becomes difficult to regain those information. So we should not connect to the public Wi-Fi to browse any important website, because while filling up the forms and all, you definitely have to make the payments also, and the payment are actually connected to your banking website. So the banking applications will be open that time, and that is not safe. Never respond to the spam mails. We do not have to respond to the spam mails, and never download on the pop-ups. So simply the JavaScript extensions are, such as extensions are there which come again and again with the pop-up ads. and we should not download the software or some service. Actually, most of the time there are some softwares which are downloaded when the pop-up comes. So simply the JavaScript controls we always have on the web browser, we should take care of that. Then update the antivirus regularly and scan your system regularly. That's necessary. Never reveal too much information about yourself on social networking sites. That also is obviously very, very necessary. That we have to take care of this thing. That we never reveal too much of our information on the social networking sites. We should never share our personal details or a lot of details, like images we are posting there, our home is visible, our garden is visible, rooms are visible. So what we are doing, that is not actually safe in some context, in the context of cybersecurity. So too much information should not be revealed on the social networking sites. Either it is messaging, or it is simply, you can say, you were asking me that day, so simply we have to take care of this thing. So I hope whatever I have discussed, that much must be clear. In case you have any query, you can definitely ask me.